out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now. Too up right now. I'm too on one day on my third. I was too broke, now I'm too rich. Made 100K on my third shift. I'm a boy, and I'm a gangster.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Green Bay Packers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Flushed out right. That's complete. Bernard. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be a second down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On the check down, he finds Kamara. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. On first down, Rodgers. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Looking again for Watkins, and this time that's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Over here. Yeah, Liz.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Open man right side is St. Brown. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. On now is the Packers punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, getting the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
He'll drop to throw. Thomas has got it, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Buying time to his left. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
Let's go.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Clinton Dix there for the stop.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Looking to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these type...
Now a hit and a loose football. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rolling to his left. And that's going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Steps away to his left. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
He'll look to throw. Being chased out left. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Watch it now, Barney. Detroit!
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Here's Corey Grant now to return. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now Rodgers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Rodgers now on first down. Going deep here for Watkins. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. From midfield, here's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And Lutz's kick is good. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Lutz now to kick this one away. Jakeem Grant now to return. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's
trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Hey, 88. Over.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And oh, his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. First catch for Bryant. He's got a 1st down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. On play action. Now Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Aaron Rodgers hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. The return man is Grant. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give it to him.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Jake Ryan. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jake Ryan. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Rodgers now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Throwing is Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Cameron Jordan. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. And they'll go on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Back to throw now on 1st down. Forced out to his left. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. And he's able to put it through. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
To throw is Rodgers. Going up top. It's caught at the 10. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Back in the first quarter, you said it. They need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. The Packers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and goal. Working from the gun. Rodgers. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Dez Bryant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. Lutz with the extra point, and that gives them a 3-point lead. Lutz now to kick this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. He's got a man, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. As his guys are in for 6. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today is track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. And now the Packers get set to go. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. It's the safety Walt Aikens on the stop. The clock rolls as the Packers look to hurry things up. On play action, it's Rodgers. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. He was looking for Watkins that time. Third down here. The Packers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Now they'll run it on the toss. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. So we've reached. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Going deep here for Bryant. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Out left side here to Bryant. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Now a first down carry by Jones. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Rodgers to throw on second down. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Not that time for Watkins. And that'll make it third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Drops it to Jones in the flat. That one good for 15 and a first.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Now it's Rodgers. He may try and run for this. And it's a touchdown for the Packers. Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz good on the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead. Lutz now to kick this one away. The return man is Grant. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game, a chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Dancing to his left. And going deep for Hill. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Watkins. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a 1st down to boot. Rodgers now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Inside.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Packers on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Looking downfield for Dez. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
Leopard! Detroit!
He'll drop to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Josh Jackson. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off, actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Back now at Lambeau. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And Josh Hill has it. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Back down to that Philly. Here we go.
They'll set up to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll go deep down the middle. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A gain of 32 that time. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
A give. This is Kamara. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Right back to him on first down. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Back to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Josh Hill, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Saints can take the lead if they can hit the extra point. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. To return it is Corey Grant. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made...
And he's into the clear. 30, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. 77 yards. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Here comes Grant on the return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Rodgers will try again on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. The nice footwork gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And the ball situated at the 9, 2nd and goal. That one looks like he'll throw here. Buying time to his left. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter if he needs to make those plays when the legs go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 16 on the season. And the Saints add on to their lead. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. The return man is Grant. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. His throw incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Jones. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. 1st down now, but that clock rolling.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just them hunting down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Anthony Averett picks it, and an alley to run. And now look at him go. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Tavecchio good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here comes Grant on the return. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to let it fly. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. The busy night continues for Kamara. He finds an opening past the 40. It's a foot race. The 30, 10. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for New Orleans, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.